Welcome back to My Channel. The quarter dollar might seem like just another coin in your pocket, but some are hiding incredible value. From silver treasures to rare minting mistakes, a few quarters have shocked collectors by selling for thousands of dollars. Stick around as we reveal the most valuable quarters you should never spend. The 1986 P. Washington quarter is one of those coins you might easily overlook in your pocket change, especially if it's circulated and has a red, rusty appearance. But what if I told you that this very coin could be worth a staggering $60,000? Yes, you heard that right. A regular-looking 1986 quarter, rust and all, might just be hiding a powerful secret that collectors would pay tens of thousands for. Let's explore why. To start, the 1986 P quarter was minted in Philadelphia, and over 550 million of them were produced. That's a huge number, which usually means low value, because rarity plays a big role in the coin world. But not all 1986 quarters are created equal. Some are hiding minting errors, metal mix-ups, or unintentional design variations that slipped past quality control. And those are exactly what collectors go crazy for. A circulated and rusty coin like this typically wouldn't be worth more than face value, unless it contains one of those rare, collectible features. Some possibilities include double die errors, where parts of the design, like Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date, appear doubled due to a misaligned die during the minting process. Off-center strikes, where the coin design is printed off the center, leaving part of the surface blank. Wrong plancher errors. Sometimes a quarter can be mistakenly struck on a plancher meant for a different coin, like a nickel or even a foreign coin. These errors are very rare and can easily bring prices in the five-figure range. Die breaks and cuds. These are unusual raised areas on a coin where the die cracked or broke during minting, leaving behind a blob-like feature. These often make a coin unique. There's also the mystery and intrigue of unofficially known varieties that might exist but haven't been fully documented yet. Some collectors specialize in hunting for these undocumented errors, believing there are hidden treasures left to discover in coins like the 1986 P quarter. Another factor, even heavily circulated coins can be worth thousands if they feature an error rare enough. The red rusty color you see might actually be a result of unusual chemical reactions with the metal, hinting at a different alloy or environmental exposure that altered the coin's surface, both of which could add value if verified. Collectors are not just buying metal, they're buying stories, history, and mystery. A coin that survived nearly 4 decades, traveled hand to hand across the country, and still holds a secret error is a story in itself, and collectors are willing to pay big money for that. So even though this 1986 P. Washington quarter may look beat up and forgotten, it might just be one of the rare survivors with a hidden minting error that makes it worth a jaw-dropping $60,000. Always remember, never judge a coin by its cover. You might be holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. The 1984 D. Washington quarter dollar, minted at the Denver Mint, may not initially stand out due to its bad condition, but that doesn't mean it's without value. In fact, some collectors have placed its worth as high as $40,000, especially when unique characteristics or hidden mint errors are involved. The obverse of this coin still proudly features the profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, while the reverse carries the classic eagle, perched with outstretched wings, a staple in U.S. coinage history. Although hundreds of millions of these coins were produced in 1984, only a tiny percentage possess the rare features that drive up their value. So how does a coin in poor condition become so valuable? It all comes down to a rare die error, plancher flaw, or striking anomaly that can make even a worn, scratched, or damaged coin incredibly sought after. Collectors don't always look for perfection. They also seek uniqueness. In some documented cases, 1,984 D quarters have surfaced with off-center strikes, double die errors, or even being struck on the wrong planchet. A few have even been found with partial collars or struck through grease, causing missing design elements. These types of mint errors are extremely rare and can turn what seems like an average or even bad coin into a treasure. While a coin's condition does influence its market value, it's the rarity of the error that takes center stage in a case like this. Even with heavy circulation, scratches, discoloration, or surface wear, a dramatic mint error can overshadow cosmetic flaws. The red flags for collectors, odd shapes, missing letters, misaligned features, make even a rough-looking quarter worth investigating. What adds to the excitement is the possibility that many such coins are still hiding in plain sight, maybe inside an old jar of change or buried in pocket collections passed down through generations. That's why collectors and hobbyists constantly remind others to check your change. A coin like this may not catch your eye at first glance, but once its true nature is revealed, it can become the highlight of a collection. The story behind each coin is what adds depth to its value. The 1984 D quarter, in a bad condition but carrying a rare error, is more than just a damaged piece of metal. It's a part of minting history that beat the odds and survived the wear and tear of circulation. And in the right hands, it's a coin that could fetch $40,000 or more, showing once again that in numismatics, the true worth lies in the unexpected details. The 1984 D Washington quarter dollar, minted in Denver, is a common coin at first glance. But what if I told you that even in circulated condition, with green rust and corrosion, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $80,000? That's the mysterious world of rare coins, where the unexpected turns ordinary into extraordinary. This coin shows the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse and the eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. While it's part of a massive mintage of over 546 million quarters, a select few from 1984 stand out, not because of their condition, but because of rare minting errors or unique features that make collectors take notice. Now let's talk about that green rust. Normally, corrosion on a coin would reduce its value, but in rare cases, this corrosion can indicate the presence of a wrong planchet, such as a copper-based alloy not meant for quarters. Coins struck on the wrong metal can discolor over time, developing greenish or bluish tints, and this can be a huge clue that the coin is something special. If a 1984 D quarter was accidentally struck on a copper-nickel blend meant for another denomination or country, the result would be a highly collectible mint error worth tens of thousands of dollars. Some 1984 D quarters have also been discovered with dramatic double-die obverse errors, where you can clearly see doubled features on the inscriptions like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Even in worn or rusted condition, these errors stand out and bring serious value, especially to collectors looking for rare U.S. mint mistakes. The coin's circulated and green rusty condition might deter an average person from keeping it, but that's what makes the story even better. One man's worn-out pocket change is another's hidden fortune. It's also possible that the green rust hides small details, like a clipped planchet, off-center strike, or a die cap error, all of which can make this coin incredibly desirable in the collector's market. So how does this coin reach $80,000 in value? It's all about rarity, error type, and collector demand. Coins with highly visible documented errors can sell for tens of thousands, even if their surface is scratched, worn, or oxidized. The story of such a coin, discovered in an old collection or even pocket change, adds to its mystique and worth. In a world where most 1984 D quarters are spent without a second glance, this green-rusted circulated version might just be one of the most valuable. And it serves as a powerful reminder to check your change carefully, because history and value might be hiding beneath a layer of green rust. The 1993 D Washington quarter dollar, minted in Denver, might look like an ordinary coin, but in the world of numismatics, Even a common coin can hide extraordinary secrets. This particular coin, in good condition, has been valued at an incredible $50,000. And here's why that might just make perfect sense. First, let's talk about the basics. The obverse side features the iconic image of George Washington, facing left, with the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date, 1993. On the reverse, the American eagle is displayed with its wings spread, clutching arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing both war and peace. The D mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. Now in circulated or regular condition, a typical 1993 D quarter is worth face value, just 25 cents. But when we say this coin is in good condition and it's worth $50,000, that signals something much more exciting. A rare variety or mint error is likely involved. Coins like this can reach such a high value due to errors that happened during the minting process. For example, double die errors, where parts of the design like Liberty or In God We Trust appear doubled, can skyrocket a coin's value instantly. Then there are off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't aligned properly during striking, or wrong planchet errors, where the quarter is mistakenly struck on a metal blank intended for another coin. Another possibility is a transition error, if the mint experimented with a different metal composition or planchet weight. These kinds of experimental coins are almost never meant to be released to the public, but occasionally one or two slip out, and they become priceless. Sometimes, even struck through errors, when something like grease or debris obstructs part of the design, can make a coin unique enough to command a massive price tag. In this case, if the 1993 D quarter has been confirmed by experts to be one of these rare error coins or has some unique mint characteristic, then its $50,000 value is completely justified. Collectors are constantly on the hunt for such hidden treasures, coins that look like everyday pocket change but hold shocking value due to their rarity. And as the demand for these rare finds grows, so does the market value. So, while millions of 1993 D quarters exist, only a handful might have the special features that make them worth tens of thousands. If you come across one, especially in good condition, it's worth having it professionally graded and authenticated. You never know, your next coin could be hiding a fortune just like this one. The 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial Washington quarter might seem like just another old coin, especially if it's in bad and rusty condition, but this one is valued at an unbelievable $70,000. Sounds shocking, right? Let's dive into why this worn-looking coin could still command such a high price. First, here's what makes this coin special to begin with. In 1976, the United States celebrated its 200th anniversary of independence, and the U.S. Mint honored that by redesigning the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins just for that year. Instead of the regular eagle on the reverse side, the Bicentennial quarter features a colonial drummer boy with a victory torch encircled by 13 stars above his head, each representing the original colonies. The dual date, 1776 to 1976, appears on the front under George Washington's bust. Now, millions of these quarters were made, both in regular copper-nickel circulation strikes and in special 40% silver versions made for collectors. In circulated or damaged condition, most of them are worth just 25 cents, maybe a few bucks. So how can one be worth $70,000, even if it's rusty? Here's the twist. This value hints at the coin having something exceptional or extremely rare, and we're talking about mint errors, varieties, or secret characteristics known only to experienced collectors. For example, there are double-die obverse DDO versions of the 1776 to 1976 quarter where the letters or numbers look slightly doubled due to a minting misalignment. Then there are off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or coins struck on the wrong metal blanks, like being minted on a silver dollar or a foreign coin planche. These types of errors can fetch jaw-dropping prices at auctions, sometimes even when the coin looks damaged or rusted. Another rare aspect that can cause such a spike in value is if it's a transitional error, maybe a bicentennial design struck on the wrong year's metal planche or with unusual composition, like 90% silver instead of 40% or standard clad. Collectors often pay top dollar for coins that are not supposed to exist or are one-of-a-kind mistakes. Even if the coin is rusty, that uniqueness trumps physical condition in many cases. The shock value and historical importance, paired with an ultra-rare error, can turn a corroded coin into a national treasure in the collecting world. So yes, this 1776 to 1976 quarter, despite its bad condition, could absolutely be worth $70,000 if it holds one of these legendary errors. It's a reminder that every old coin deserves a second look, even if it's dirty, worn out, or forgotten in a drawer. It might just be hiding a history-making mistake worth a fortune.